Running a restaurant by the numbers can be a challenge if you don't know what numbers you need to know in the first place. Off the top of your head, though, I bet you can name 3 without even thinking: food cost, labor cost, and your profit and loss. While there are many more numbers to know, I want to share with you the most important restaurant numbers to know to be successful. So stay with me. I'm Dave Scott Peters, restaurant expert, coach, and creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. I've been coaching restaurant owners since 2003, and I'm really glad you're here to learn. Today, I want to share with you the most important restaurant numbers to know to be successful. But before I do that, if you like tips and tricks like this, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and oh yeah, that bell, so you're notified when my next video tip comes out. And for more tips and tricks for running a profitable restaurant or to hear restaurant owner success stories, make sure you tune into my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all the popular podcasting services. Let's jump right into it in no particular order. You need to know, number 1, your cost of goods sold by category and total. We have different targets for budgeting. So it's important we're measuring our food, our bottled beer, draft beer, wine, liquor, merchandise separately. We also need the total for another number, which is we're going to talk about in a moment, called prime cost. Now, generally speaking, I overall shoot for about a 25% cost of goods sold when I'm doing a budget. Now, that could lean up 5% or down a little bit. Number 2, your labor cost by position and total. Again, like cost of goods sold, I'm going to have different labor targets when it comes to budget and measure to find where I might have some challenges. And I need the total again for my prime cost. So again, by position, not front of house, back of house, not hourly and salary, but by position. Number 3, prime cost. We get to it pretty quickly here. That's your total cost of goods sold plus your total labor costs, including taxes, benefits, insurance. This is the one number you must know to have any chance to make money. And make sure to search my YouTube channel here for multiple videos on prime cost, how to calculate it, where you should be. But I'm going to tell you right now, the industry standard of 65% does not work anymore. With all the cost increases and all the challenges our industry has faced, the new number, if you do $850,000 a year or more in sales, is 55% or less. And that can be life-changing money for many of you. Number 4, your operating costs. That's every other expense down below cost of goods sold and labor cost. Now, there are many other line items that we need to pay attention to in those operating costs. But generally speaking, I'm shooting for, again, about 25%. So with that said, if I were to review 25% for my cost of goods sold, 25% for my labor, and 25% for my operating expenses, give or take a few points, all of a sudden you're going to get a picture for you have the ability to make money. Number 5, your profit and loss. Do know an average restaurant makes a nickel to 8 cents on every dollar, 5 to 8 pennies. My members, however, they make 15 to 20%. Because they know their numbers and they put systems in place to achieve the results they're shooting for. Number 6, your dollars per square foot. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a full service restaurant, you need to do a minimum, that's your annual sales divided by your square feet, including the mop sink in your office. You need to do a minimum of $150 per square foot. To break even, $150 to $250. To make a mid-level profit, $250 to $350. And to kick some ass, you need to do over $350 per square foot. Quick service is a little different. Minimum of $200, break even $200 to $300, a mid from $300 to $400, and you're going to kick ass at $400 or more. Then there's total occupancy costs, which is your rent, your property taxes, your property insurance, and I often put in there that SBA loan or building loan, that startup loan to get the business going. Now, do know I shoot for a 5 to 8% for most of my members is where I want you, but I'm not going to lie. Most restaurants I work with find themselves at 10 or 12%. And do know that anytime you get above 12%, you are working for the landlord, not for you. Another number that nobody really ever talks about is the current ratio. Your current ratio is your current assets divided by your current liabilities. Current assets are those assets you'll use within the next 12 months in your balance sheet, and current liabilities are those bills you need to pay within the next 12 months on your balance sheet. Now, I want minimum a 1-to-1 ratio, that I have $1 in current assets for every dollar I owe. I really want you at 1.25 to 1, that I have $1.25 for every dollar. I'm cash rich. I can breathe, if you will. The unfortunate reality is many of you are going to do this calculation and you might be 0.75 to 1. where you truly don't even have enough current assets to pay off your current liabilities. This is when cash flow becomes really a challenge for us. Number 9 is your break-even point. And that is every dollar in, every dollar out. You don't make money, you don't lose money, but knowing your break-even point gives you the starting point that if you start to implement systems and bring that number down, you can start making money sooner and that much more. It's very simple. Step 1 is take your P&L and total up all your variable expenses divided by your sales. This is going to give you your variable ratio. Let's call it 60%. Step 2 is take your total sales, which is 100% minus the 60. This is going to give you what we call your MIP, marginal income percentage. So all of a sudden that would be 40, right? 40%. Well, now step 3 is simple. You add up on that P&L again, all your fixed expenses, divide it by your MIP, and this gives you a break-even point. The number in which you've got to bring in that many pennies, if you will, and all of them will go out, that you make no money, lose no money. Again, important number to know so you can work on your efficiencies. While there's certainly more numbers to know, from credit card discount fees to paper and janitorial costs, this list of 9 numbers to know is a great starting point. If you're tired of not being able to leave your restaurant because no one else knows how to run it, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be that way. You can leave your restaurant. It is possible to build a team of people who know how you want the restaurant to run with trained and responsible people in place. You can give yourself time away. What would you do if you had time away from your restaurant? Would you sleep better? Would your relationships improve? Would you feel more relaxed? These are all things you deserve to experience as a business owner. It's why we own our own businesses. If you would like to learn how to own a restaurant that doesn't depend on you to be successful, click the link in the description to watch a free video to learn exactly what you have to do. Also, be sure to subscribe to get my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance for running a successful restaurant.